Good morning, evening, or night. I'm Caleb Myhill, and I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and you're looking forward to a great week this week. First things first, we're going to send it on over to Josh for our weekly sports update.
Hello, I am Josh Taylor, and I have some sports news for you. On Saturday, December 18th, Aubrey Hayes will be doing her senior project, Volley for Jerseys tournament. To enter, you need a team of 7 to 10 people, and it is $8 per person. You can sign up your team by emailing Aubrey at 22ahayes@lakeplacidcsd.net. Also, the deadline to sign up is Monday the 13th at 3 p.m. Also, be aware that there is a possibility of the competition being postponed due to the ever-changing environment of COVID-19, so stay on the lookout for that information. The SOP boys hockey team had their first game last Tuesday. They all played an awesome game and beat Saranac 6-3. The girls basketball team is also having a great start to the season because they have now won multiple times. In college football, the final standings have been released, and the 4 teams going to the playoffs are Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati. Alabama will play Cincinnati on December 31st in the Cotton Bowl, and Georgia will play Michigan also on December 31st in the Orange Bowl. And to start your week off right, here's a quote from Serena Williams. "You have to believe in yourself when no one else does." And with that, I'll send it back to you, Caleb.
Thank you very much for that, Josh. And we're actually going to send it back over to him again because he also has our character strength of the week.
Thanks, Caleb. This week's character strength is self-control. It means you have the ability to control your emotions and behaviors. You think before you act. If you have this character strength, it means that you manage behavior in a way that positively influences goal attainment and living up to standards. Possessing this strength protects people from destabilizing emotional extremes. Those with self-control are able to limit impulsive behavior. They have the ability to experience and navigate difficulty while remaining poised. They understand that through discipline and restraint, there are greater long-term goals that they can accomplish. Self-control is related to prudence in that people with this strength are able to implement extended planning techniques in pursuit of difficult task completion. Self-control does not mean a lack of thoughts, feelings, or impulses. It just means you have command over them. This character strength matters because for individuals, self-control helps them delay the short-term gain in pursuit of a greater long-term success. In the words of Plato, the first and best victory is to conquer self. And with that, back to you, Caleb.
Thank you again very much, Josh. And in other news, we have a very special production of It's a Wonderful Life coming up this week. And to tell us a little bit about it is the director herself, Miss Hannah Wiley.
So everyone knows this classic story of It's a Wonderful Life. If you don't, you should watch the movie. It's really good. But essentially, a man, George Bailey, is kind of figuring out what his purpose is in life. And it's really just a story about hope and the Christmas spirit, but then also the importance of who we are in relation to the people around us. So it's really a good story. I think it'll be an interesting way of presenting it. So definitely something the school hasn't done before, but you should all come check it out.
It doesn't cost anything to attend this lovely show. However, donations are gladly accepted and will be given to the Drama Club to help support future shows. There is a maximum of 100 people who can attend the show, so it is on a first-come, first-served basis. The shows are Friday the 17th at 7 p.m. and Saturday the 18th at 1 p.m.
So one is in the nighttime and one is a matinee, just for if you have any scheduling conflicts, it works with everything.
According to the cast and director, this show is I
want to say others-centered. Very fun, creative, heartfelt, wholesome, kind of reflective and heartwarming, well put together, festive, genuine.
There are also so many different roles within this show, like starting with Foley artists.
My name's Haley Lamar. I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Reagan Lamar. I'm also in 9th grade.
We are Foley artists.
Sound effects, basically.
Footsteps, glass, ice, snow.
There are also some really neat characters.
I play a bunch of characters, but my main character is Ernie, the cab driver. He's really fun, he's pretty friendly, and he's just a good guy. Yeah. I play a lot of characters, but my favorite character that I play is young George Bailey. He is a really nice kid. He puts others before himself, and he sees where you're coming from. He knows how to help when to help.
This is Hannah's first time directing a show, and the cast and crew think she is doing a fantastic job.
I think it's going really good. Our director knows exactly what she's doing, and she's a really good leader. And I think she's just going in the right direction with this play.
Hannah can put herself in our shoes since she's been an actress before in high school plays. So she knows how to give us tips and when to give us tips. And she's also a really great director using that experience as an actress herself.
Hannah is controlling everything very well. She's putting the play together. Very supportive, very kind and caring.
Hannah has this to say about her experience as a director.
And so I think there have definitely been challenges. Doing it during COVID is not an easy process, but I wouldn't have picked a better show or a better cast or a better time to have my first directing project.
Also, just a few reminders before you go to the show.
So with the New York State mandate with masks and also just with the schools, we're trying to be as cautious as possible. So masks will be required and social distancing will be in effect as well.
Thank you to Hannah and the cast and crew for taking the time to do an interview. We hope to see all of you at least one of those shows because it is bound to be a wonderful time. In other news, there is this great program called JAGS, and here to tell us a little bit about it is Mr. Paul Wiley. Mr. Wiley works for Orta as the director of sport.
Which means that I am kind of in between a lot of different things, but definitely trying my best to, bring events and training and, high level athletics to this area and to continue on in the traditions that were set way back in the last century.
He is an Olympic athlete as well.
I was in 2 Olympics. I was in the 88 and 92 games and in figure skating and won a silver medal in 1992 for the United States. And then I skated professionally for 6 years after that.
Getting into the JAGS program, JAGS stands for Jump, Aim, Glide, Slide, and each of these incorporates a plethora of different activities.
So the jump stands for, so it's JAGS, right? Jump, aim, glide, slide. So the jump stands for Nordic jumping. So ski jumping off of the Nordic jumps as you come into town. So aim is biathlon, right? So some of you might have some shooting experience, some of you might not. And then glide would be speed skating, figure skating, ice hockey, and cross-country skiing. And then slide would be luge, bobsled, and skeleton.
The goal of JAGS is to just get you to try a different activity. It doesn't cost anything to just try out these different activities, but if it is something that you want to pursue and you can't afford it, the program is going to help you out the best that they can.
Then, we're going to figure out a way to ask the Uline Ironman for some funding for it. We have some money for that set aside. I actually don't personally get to choose, who gets anything. So it's really up to the programs.
Also realize that this program is meant for you to try new things, and it doesn't mean that you have to be great at them immediately.
What I've been trying to say to people is, when I was 3 years old, I went skating for the first time, and I usually ask this rhetorical question was, do you think I was any good then? No, I was not good the first time I got on the ice. But it was about trying it.
Anyone can join this program.
So anybody who is in, the schools can join the program. There are certain restrictions based on age, because certain sports are not as appropriate as others for certain ages, And
a typical meeting looks like this.
It's different from last year where I would say, every Thursday we went out to a place and we had a practice. This is more like you come in and you try the sport. And so it's not very long. It's an hour and a half or an hour, and you're going to sample it.
If you want any extra information, go to the website right here. It is also linked in the description below. Also, be aware that there are some COVID rules that need to be followed.
Just everybody remember that you're going to have to wear a mask when you come in. So we really want to make sure that there's no COVID transmission. And so I think that that's something that we're really going to have to be careful of with the numbers that we've seen. So make sure you pay attention to that. All of Orta's venues need a mask.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wiley, for taking the time to do this interview and tell us all about this wonderful program. This weekend, the Holiday Village Stroll took place, and on Saturday, we had our grand tree lighting. And to start the tree lighting off, our middle school chorus was there to sing and get everyone in the holiday spirit. Great job to everyone. Last week, Mr. Seymour presented the school board with all of the recommendations of the dress code committee, and they will be deciding where to go with these recommendations in the next board meeting. Stay tuned for the final updates about our dress code in the upcoming weeks. I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash those hands, and most importantly, don't forget to smile. I cannot wait to see you next time, where there will be more on weather, sports, news, student life, you name it. Well, maybe it'll be on here. It's going to be great.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh,